welcome back to the channel. This is AZUMA versus Alaska. Okay, so we have aiming system mod 1, steering gear mod 2, concealment, and gunfire control mod 3, or mod 2 I mean. You could go for the main battery reload, but I wouldn't recommend it. For the loadout, we have a sonar on this ship, which is really handy, or you could do the defensive AA. Your choice. Epic battle booster, standard camouflage, and we are the board flag. Survivability, 52,500 hit points, torpedo damage reduction 22%, fire resistance 37%. The main battery is a 310mm, 50 caliber type 0. There's 3 turrets with 3 guns in each, 18.4 kilometer range, 22.8 second reload. Main battery traverse, 36 seconds. Shell grouping 2.05. Max range vertical dispersion is 99.5 meters. Horizontal is 165.8 meters. Medium max range vertical dispersion is 29.1 meters. Medium max range horizontal is 48.5. Max AG shell damage 5,100. Muzzle velocity 836 meters per second. Fire setting chance is 30%. Armor penetration 52 millimeters. Max AP shell damage 9,256. Muzzle velocity 836 meters per second. Armor penetration at point blank range is 634 millimeter. At max range is 353 millimeter. Minimum ricochet angle 45 degree, guaranteed 60. Fuse timer 33 seconds, 52 millimeters of armor for the time. And for secondaries, we just have the 100mm dual purpose type 98, 8x2. There's 8 of those mounts with 2 guns in each, 5.2 kilometer range, 3 second reload, 1 for the shell grouping, 312.8 meter, max range vertical and horizontal dispersion. Medium max range vertical and horizontal dispersion is 187.7, 1700 HE shell damage, 1000 meter per second muzzle velocity, 8% chance set fire, 17mm armor penetration. AA, you have those dual purpose at the top, 180 damage per second, 5 kilometer range. You get 25mm type 96 mod 1, 6x2, 6 mounts with 2 in each. 61 damage per second, 3.1 kilometer range. The 25mm mod 2 is 24 mounts with 3 in each. Wow. 245 damage per second, 3.1 kilometer range. Maneuverability, it's 35.4 knot top speed, not bad. 920 meter turn circle, that's rough. 9.3 second ruddership time. Engines pull up time is 15 seconds. Reverse engines pull up time is 8 seconds. Engine power multiplier speed threshold 7 knots. Reversing it's 10. Concealment. Detectability range by sea is 10.9 kilometers. After firing the main guns it's 18.4. When the ship is on fire it's 12.9. Detectability range by air it's 6.9 kilometers. After firing the main guns, it's 13. When the ship is on fire, it's 9.9. Detectability guaranteed would be 2 kilometer range. After firing the main guns and smoke, it's 9.7. Not bad. Armor, you have 30mm on the bottom of the bow and the front. You got 27mm deck, 27mm bow, and a 32mm armor belt. Then you got 2137 between that. The bottom and the back's the same, 30mm, 32mm deck, 27mm stern, and then 27mm by 175mm armor belt on the stern. And then you got that same 37mm. And then the torpedo protection, a 27mm belt, and 30mm on the bottom. And then here's where the superstructure comes into play here. The top of the superstructure is 16mm. The conning tower is 125 millimeters. The conning tower bottom is 125 millimeter. The sides of the conning tower is 130 millimeter by 215. And then the side plating for the whole superstructure is 16 millimeter by 25 millimeter. Not bad. And then the casemate armor for the whole ship. At the stern, it's 21 millimeters. At the front, towards the bow, is 21 millimeters. The armor belt is 27 millimeters. And the deck is 13 by 27 millimeters. So anything 16 inches and above is going to destroy this ship. Actually, 15 inches and above, my bad. And then the turrets. The top plate is 102 millimeter. The rear plate's 305 millimeter. The side plating is 127 millimeter by 152 millimeter. The bottom plate and where the bearing mechanism is and all that is 102 millimeters of armor protecting it. So these guns will get knocked out very easy. The barbette is 210 millimeter by 260 millimeter. And then the frontal plate is 305 millimeter. The Citadel has a sloped Citadel deck, sort of like a turtleback, 125 millimeter. For that, the Citadel bottom's 40 millimeters. And then the Citadel towards the bow is 101 millimeter by 195 millimeter. And then the Citadel deck itself is 125 millimeters. And then in the stern, it's 101 millimeter at the very bottom and 195 in the middle. And then the armor belt for the Citadel is 96 millimeter by 178 millimeter. This is a very amazing ship. I enjoy it very much. If I had to say, if you're going to spend your global XP on anything, I would go for AZUMA, in my opinion. Or Prince William. Either of those two are completely worth it. Right now you can, big guns. This ship is armed with high caliber main battery guns, superior HE shell damage, and then superior AP pin damage. A powerful high speed ship, Project B-65, designed to destroy American heavy cruisers and confront Alaska class large cruisers. Some design solutions were borrowed from Yamato-class battleships. She was armed with 9 310mm guns and had good anti-torpedo protection. Year design 1941. Azure Lane AZUMA. As the commander, we have Beyond Range, Igniter, Fixated, and then Special Gunnery, and then Refill Station, Norman Scott for the inspiration. Or you could go with Arpeggio Herguna. Sorry, I must have butchered her name. You could do a HE build, cruiser main battery range, HE shell. So that'd be Beyond Range, Igniter, Hellfire, Fixated, Refill Station, Inspirations Harbin, and Captain Janeway. The differences is for the main battery, a little bit worse dispersion, 5,406 HE shell damage, 32% chance at fire instead of 30%, a little bit more armor penetration, 55mm. But for the sake of the video, we're going to use AZUMA. Alaska. Aiming system mod 1, steering gear mod 2, concealment, and then gunfire control system mod 2. Loadout. This ship also has sonar, but it also has radar and catapult fighter if you want that. Defensive AA, epic battle booster, standard camo, and then the US Navy 250-year flag. Survivability ain't that much different from AZUMA, 8,000 more, 60,800 hit points, torpedo damage reduction 13%, fire resistance 40, 305mm Mark 8s, 3 turrets with 3 guns in each, 19.2 kilometer range, 18.6 second reload time, 30-second turret traverse, 2.2 shell grouping, and then max range vertical dispersion is 108.3 meters, horizontal is 180.5 meters. And then the medium max range vertical dispersion is 29.2 meters, horizontal would be 48.7 meters. And then max HE shell damage is 4,300. Muzzle velocity slower, 808 meter per second compared to AZUMA. Fire setting chance is the same, 30%. Armor penetration, 51 millimeters instead of 52. Maximum AP shell damage is 8,900. Muzzle velocity is even slower, 762 meter per second. A full 100 meter per second difference. And then you got 688 millimeters armor penetration at point blank range. At max range, it's 352 millimeters. Minimum ricochet angle is 60 degrees, guaranteed is 67.5, so a little bit different than AZUMA. And then fuse timer is 2 seconds instead of 33, but that's because of Azure Lane, New Jersey. Fuse arming threshold, 51 millimeters. And then you got the dual purpose secondaries, the 127 millimeter Mark 32. You'll see those on all the American battleships and even on Worcester. 6x2 of those, 6 mounts with 2 guns in each, 5.2 kilometer range. Reload time is 6 seconds, shell grouping 1. Max range vertical dispersion and horizontal is 312.8 meters. And the medium max range vertical and horizontal is 187.7 meters. Max HE shell damage 1800, muzzle velocity 792 meter per second, fire setting chance 8%, armor penetration 21 millimeters. AA, you have 20 millimeter Oerlikons Mark 4s, 34 of those mounts with 1 gun in each. Average damage per second 211, max range 2 kilometers, and then you got the dual purpose 127s, 98 damage per second, 5 kilometer range, 40 millimeter Bofors Mark II, 14 mounts with 4 guns in each, 337 damage per second, 3.5 kilometer range. Maneuverability is a little bit better, but it's 1 knot slower, 34 knot top speed, 850 meter turn circle, 9 seconds instead of 9.3, and then 15-second engine spool up time, and the rest of it's pretty much the same. Detectability range by sea is 11.4 kilometers. After firing main guns, it's 19.2. When the ship is on fire, it's 13.4. Detectability range by air is 7.2 instead of AZUMA's 6.2, I think it was. After firing main guns, it's 13.3. And then when the ship is on fire, it's 10.2 kilometers. Guaranteed detectability of 2 kilometers. While firing in smoke is a little bit worse, it's 10.2 kilometers instead of 9. Armor. Of course, it's the legendary tier, but you got a 40 millimeter bottom, a 32 millimeter deck, 32 millimeter bow. And then you got that 51 millimeter by 260 millimeter between the bow and the rest of the ship. In the rear, it's 40 millimeter, 32 millimeter deck, 32 millimeter stern, and you also have a little red spot right there. It's a little armor belt, 269 millimeters. And then you got that 260 millimeter plate in between. The side plating, 32 millimeter for torpedo protection under the waterline. Well, actually both of these are. The armor belt for torpedoes is 178 millimeters also. The superstructure on the top is 16 millimeters of armor. The conning tower on the top is 127 millimeters. The conning tower bottom is 51 millimeters. The conning tower sides is 269 millimeters. And then the side plating of the whole superstructure is 16 millimeters. The casemate for the whole ship is in the rear, it's 21 millimeters on the top, 260 millimeter on the bottom. And then the front is the same, 21 by 260 millimeter. The armor belt on the top is 28 millimeters, the upper side plating, and then the belt armor is 229 millimeter. And then the deck is 36 millimeter by 102. Sorry, I can't speak tonight. The turrets. 127 millimeter on the top plate, 133 for the rear plate, 133 by 152 millimeter for the sides. The bottom plate 48 millimeters. The frontal plate is 325 millimeter, and then the bar bed armor is 70 millimeter by 330 millimeter. Not bad. The Citadel is in the rear is 51 millimeter by 260 millimeter. The bottom is 40 millimeter. The Citadel in the front is 51 millimeters by 260 millimeter. Citadel deck 19 millimeters. The torpedo bulkhead for the Citadel is 26 millimeters. And that's the Citadel. But yeah, if I had to pick, I'd like to get Congress. If I do get Congress one day, we'll do a fair comparison between Congress and AZUMA. But for now, we'll do it with AZUMA and Alaska. And right now you can get Alabama and Massachusetts in the store for doubloons instead of Global. Because for Global XP it's 750,000, just like AZUMA, just like Otago, I think I'm pronouncing that right. And then Suyas, you can also buy it instead of spending your 750,000 Global. But if, like I said, I'd pick AZUMA and Prince Huygen for cruisers, and then I'd pick Kii, the Japanese battleship, and probably Stalingrad. Tough, above average base HP rating, superior HE pin, big and flammable. Fire set on this ship lasts longer due to her large size and high caliber guns. An instance of a special type of ship somewhere between a cruiser and a battleship. Officially classified as large cruiser, she was armored with 305mm guns, had a high-speed, powerful AA defense. On the other hand, she had relatively weak armor protection for her size. Entered service 1944, ships in Series 3. That is Alaska. Beautiful ship. Love the design. It's like a mini Iowa, basically. That's what I think of them as, at least. But what they are is oversized Baltimore. That's the reason I have actually in Baltimore for the commander. Beyond range, igniter, absolute ammunition, fixated, and then refill station. Yamamoto and Norman Scott. Or you could also go with Captain Janeway. And for Captain Janeway, it would be Piercer, full speed ahead, beyond range, precision strike, fully packed, inspirations, Kurami, Circa, I think, and then Norman Scott for inspirations. The difference being 19.2 kilometer range, 19.5 second reload, 2.14 shell dispersion, and that's about it. The shells penetrate a little bit more, I believe. But she does more damage against battleships, that's why I use her. The first match we're going to get into here is AZUMA. And I did have a good game in it earlier. I should have recorded it, but I didn't. So I went ahead and done these videos in training room so I can get you guys some consistent data on these ships. So you can compare them and see which one you want to spend your hard time, well, let's say hard-earned time. Well, that's what it is. You'd be grinding to get them. So you can get Alaska by researching it in the Bureau. And then AZUMA, you gotta save up 750,000 global XP. So either way, they're both free. It just takes a lot of time to get one than the other. I'd say about the same time for both of them. Depending on how good you do in matches, you can get a pretty good amount of global. But I'll show you what these guns can do. We'll go ahead and creep around this island. I set this up like a normal match you would get into at tier 7. 20-kilometer range with refill station. And we're gonna go see what it does to Cleveland. Yeah, not too bad. 3,553 damage to start with. And there's the HE, of course. Let's see if we can get it over. And 2,000. That's not a very good hit. Most of them shattered and bounced. Let's shoot a Hypno too. Why not? Yeah, there's another 3,000 off Hypno. I want to draw out my teammates, get distracted by these guys. Go around to the side of them. Try to get some of them armor shots. My secondaries are eating them up right now. Got that sonar active to see them torpedoes on. See that turret traverse? It sucks. Look how slow it is. Japanese cruisers, that's the worst turret. It's slapping. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good hit. And again, I'm using AZUMA for AZUMA, of course. And of course, Paper had to get in the way. But oh well. We got a pretty big chunk off him. We're up to 50,000, and our secondaries are still eating, and we got fire started. Shoot him again. Hopefully this time. And not a good result. Nothing. Over pins mostly. I mean, it still does damage, but it's over pins. We're up to 60,000. Ooh, I was shooting at us. If he hits us one time, he'll get a Citadel. Let's see if we can get one off this broadside. Watch this. This version's awful, but not too bad. Yep, there's a Citadel. That's a pretty good chunk. 74,000. Can we get another one before he goes behind the island? And that's a no. And we're gonna wait for him to get around this island. See if we can't go through the cheek and get us a death strike, maybe. I'm looking forward to it. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe our destroyer finishes him off. Nope, hit his boat. Should aim a little bit more forward over we got that cheek. See where I'm aiming at right there? That's the cheek. That's where you want to aim for. You can get Citadels if they're angled like that most of the time. And he's gone. And we're not going to get a shot on Mogami because Bismarck's going to finish him off. Not a very eventful match for AZUMA. Sorry about that, I tried. We'll go over here and see if we can get this Baltimore on the other side of the map. I mean, it's a decently quick cruiser, but it sucks at turning, as you can see. It's the only bad part about it. And it's 27 millimeters everywhere. It can get pinned by just about anything. Well, there he is finally. He popped up. I don't think I get anything off this shot because he's angled. Yeah, a little bit. Mostly ricochets. Been trying to aim some more superstructure, but it don't do me no good. Let's see, I don't think it's gonna hit. Oh, he's going too slow. And he's turning, it's gonna hit the belt. Nothing. Ricochets. Sometimes you can get lucky and go through the deck right there in the upper side plate and get a citadel. We didn't get lucky that time. Let's go for superstructure. I didn't aim up high enough on that one, as you can see. These shells ain't like most cruisers. It would have hit him dead center in the superstructure, but not these. See, that one hit the belt, and I was aiming for the superstructure. Not that good, but I'm gonna sneak on the side of him, slap him in the superstructure real quick, and then we'll finish him off with the rear turret. We'll swing it around here in just a second, and this out. On to Alaska. And here we go. And I did the same thing here. I put everything at the tier. So this is all legendary tier cruisers, one legendary tier destroyer on each team, and one legendary tier battleship. That's the fair way to do it, I believe, for these comparisons. With refill station, I believe we have a range of 21 kilometers. There's Stalingrad. That's my next ship I'm gonna focus on trying to get. It'll probably take me about 6 months to get it, but it'll be worth it, in my opinion. It's gonna take a long time to save up 2 million global. That's an awful lot. And then Hayate is a destroyer I'd like to have. It's 1,500,000 global, and that's gonna take a long time to get too. But the next one on my list is Stalingrad, definitely. I'll be getting it so I can do a comparison with it. I already have Kronstadt. I have Riga. And then I need to get the tier 8 Russian. See if we can't reach over this island and touch this Zal's broadside maybe. No, it did not clear. 2 did, but I don't think they hit. We'll take a shot at this destroyer. This gearing is absolutely destroying our kamikaze, I believe. Or is it Z-52? I don't really remember. Z-52, yep. And we got a hit on him. 3,000. Mostly overkill. That's what you'll get with the destroyer, so your best bet's to use HE on there. We're going to sneak around the back of the island on these ships. Because it's a Minotaur and a Wooster, they will absolutely destroy us. And a Des Moines, all on our side, go figure. See, pop the sonar and the radar. There's those torpedoes, that's what I was talking about. That's what you want to watch out for. It's good to have sonar and radar. Two citadels, not bad. Not bad. And my angle, we took 2,000 from those, we took a lot more from him, we're 24,000. So about 21,000. This one looks in the broadside. Let's give him another. And goodbye. There's 4 citadels. He's on 57,000. And now we got Des Moines right side. We got the torpedoes. And water line. And 4 citadels, but not a dead strike. I'm gonna go ahead and let my teammates finish them off. And of course, the runs and along. And I was trying to get this Yamato, but RNG keeps letting me down because I keep shooting at his broadside, right? Water line, get nothing. Watch this. Nothing. This ship should send out that no problem. I've done it before. But for these secret cruisers like this and DAU I don't think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. Stalingrad, AZUMA, all of them. If you shoot at the broadside Yamato, you want to be a little bit closer. Pretty much point blank range. In my opinion. Because you get shots like that, and RNG just punishes you, shatters. It's the same way for any cruiser, just about. The only cruiser I had trouble with Yamatos, getting dead strikes and citadels, is getting birds for some reason. I wish they'd fix that AP, or give us a commander that helps with the penetration of the AP. That'd be nice. See, there's that Warships. Go ahead and get him out of here. Because if not, he's gonna aggravate the piss out of us and burn us down. Goodbye, Whiskey. 2 more citadels, 127,000 damage. And we have a 32mm bow. He hit me for a good chunk, but if I was in Zoom, I would have been dead straight this time. If that was Yep. See? 3 citadels. 5 total. And the motto's gone. 167,000 damage. So it's really up to you which cruiser is your favorite. I mean, you decide between the gameplay and the comparison, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick Alaska.